Hello, welcome back to Resolution. Today in this video we're looking at the new 2022 Bmw K1600 Gt. Let's fire this girl up and see what it's all about. That's a nice crisp TFT display there. Let's get this lump started. So it is quite heavy. I think it weighs in about 350 kilograms. It's in first gear. Oh, that sounds nice. This is a beast, an absolute tank. But like the other K1600, as soon as you start riding it, the weight just becomes easy. Now it's a nice, that is smooth. I think it's got a quick shifter. Let's just give that a go. Yeah, quick shifter. Good old BMW quick shifters. In third gear, lovely. That is beautiful. Now it's got 160 brake horsepower, 132 foot-pound of torque, I believe. And like the old one, it has got an electric windscreen. So let's put that up. And in all fairness, has it got a quick shifter down? Yep, quick shifter down. Let's just bring that down a little bit. Right. Wow. This is unbelievably smooth. Front brake test, awesome. That is a good front brake. I don't know what I'm using the clutch for. Do not need to use a clutch. So wow, literally my first impression of this bike is fantastic. It's just so smooth. I can't believe it. I haven't ridden the BMW in a while, so I'm going to try and change that display. Again, nice and smooth, pulling away. Quick shifter. Oh, that, I'll tell you what, that quick shifter is effortless. Wow. This has to be the smoothest motorcycle I have ridden. The engine is just buttery smooth. And although it weighs an astronomical amount of weight, you don't feel it. It's just like the old one, but better. And I absolutely loved the K1600 GT when I rode it last. I've taken two out for a test ride, and this one does not disappoint. It is beautiful. The wind mirrors are they're really good. It is quite a wide bike, so the wind mirrors give you a good amount of like judgment. Downshift, yeah, third gear. It goes quite nicely. Into second gear, go into first gear, pop the clutch in, on the rear brake, keeping the revs up, and off we go into second gear. Wow, this leans in, this is unbelievable. You're probably going to think I'm talking absolute nonsense about how this is smooth, but honestly, wow. These big touring bikes that BMW create, you can't fault them. They're just effortless riding. And that windscreen, that's not in the high settings, so let's put that right up high. The one thing I did find I didn't like on the old K1600 was in the high position that we're in now, I still had quite a lot of windscreen buffeting. But in this one, it's pretty good. Let's bring it down. Still amazing on the wind protection. So on the near side, you've got a lot of dials on the side. You've got your BMW infotainment wheel, shows all your statistics there. I'm not going to go into a lot of this because, let's face it, I could be here all day with you guys showing you what we've got. Now this is an inline 1600cc engine, and it is just effortless. If it was to start raining, which it should be doing today, you'd have no issue with the wind and the rain protection on that. It'd be lovely. Now the seat is very, very comfortable. My legs are bent slightly, but they're not awkward, and it's not like the touring, the BL or something, where your legs are stretched out onto the floorboards. Let's go second lane here, see how it handles around this roundabout. So we've got a bus and we've got a car. So back into first gear, entering the roundabout. It's a quick shifter. Now this is one thing I have felt with the K1600 prior as well. Oh, that engine just sings. When you go around corners, it is a very, very wallowy boat. That's the best way I can describe it. It really does just push you out of the bend that you want. So you do have to have a little bit of confidence to really get a lean on with this bike. But no doubt, after you've been riding it for a set period of time, and if it is your bike, you are gonna feel how easy it is to move this bike about. I personally think it is more manoeuvrable than the previous generation. BMW have done a lot of upgrades on this. I'm not going to go into them because honestly I can't remember them off the top of my head. And this, don't forget, is where the bike is going to be in its element. It's on the motorway. Okay, it's on the A31, but it might as well be a motorway. You've seen my other videos about fuel prices. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at that. $1.99 for petrol, 189 for diesel, sorry, 189 for petrol. What an absolute rip-off. Right, so let's go for a slow crawl. So here we go, keeping the engine revving nice and slow, easy. Oh, lovely sound. Right, off we go again. So smooth manoeuvring is a tick in the box for the K1600. Let's get the indicator on. Quick shifting. Oh, this is just absolutely rapid. For a big old bike, BMW have hit the nail on the head. I thought the R1250 RT was smooth, the new one. This is silly. This is really buttery smooth. I've said that already. Anyway, right, so looking down, we've got a nice cluster on here. We've also got a reverse gear, but that's not very good, is it? My 360 camera just fell. Good job that didn't fall off the actual motorcycle, because that'd been a bit embarrassing. How's the view from down there, everybody? Anyway, we've got a reverse gear. We have got, on the right hand side, we've got a modes, we've got our luggage locking capability, which is what we like to see. If you're going on a nice tour, you can lock your luggage away, shift up. So we're in 6th gear now, and I really need to get hold of that 360 camera. What a fail. Good job I didn't stick it on the back of the bike. That'd been quite funny, wouldn't it? Lose my 360. Anyway, now that TFT display, when you look down at it, you really can see all the information you're after really clear. Lovely 6th gear pull away, cruising on by, pulling in slightly, there we go. Not a problem for the K1600. Now, if money was no option, what would I go for? The old K16 or the new K16? I'd definitely go for the new one. I cannot get over how smooth this bike is, and how, I say scarily fast, it's not scary fast, how scarily smooth the power goes down. You literally accelerate and the bike just glides to whatever speed you're after, yet still feeling absolutely planted to the floor. It's got cruise control, so we can whack on the cruise control. There we go. Cruise control is on, no dramas, and that is as easy as pushing the switch over for cruise control. I'm going to have to pull in here, see what it's like doing a turn. I can imagine it would be quite easy to do a turn, however, when I'm not confident on it yet, because I've just taken it out, it costs a lot of money and there's a big excess. Right, so let's go. We're in reverse, hit the reverse, and we press the starting motor, and back it goes. That is unbelievable. That's so handy. We disengage reverse. Oh, we go back into 1st gear, and off we go again. Let's take 2. Right, Nothing coming. Actually, there's one thing coming. There we go. This is so good. I love this bike. I want it. Now I am toying with the idea of an RT for my next bike. I like the Africa Twin, but there's just something more that I want from a motorcycle, and at the moment I don't. Oh, the horn works. The horn definitely works. The slow manoeuvring is quite good. Yeah, look at that. That went round quite nicely. And with that quick shifter, this has got to be the smoothest quick shifter I've ever tried for BMW. What are we looking like there? Off we go. Wow, the power, it is fantastic. You're gonna get sick of this. All I'm going on about is the bloody power. It's brilliant, it's so smooth. Right, now directly ahead of me I've got a little cubby hole. That little area there allows you to put your mobile phone, so when you've got it linked to the BMW motorcycle, you can actually store your phone away. And it's got an air conditioning unit in there. It's got a little fan that keeps your phone nice and cool, which is, I mean, that's brilliant. If you're going touring and you've got a long old tour in a nice hot country, you can put your phone away nice and safe, and yeah, the bike will keep it looked after really well. We're farming at the moment. I was trying to take this bike on a bit more realistic road, so obviously if you own this bike you're going to be taking it on tours more than likely, but the majority of people don't go on tours all the time. So how does it handle in a day-to-day urban environment? Let's get the visor open. It's really muggy today. It's beautiful when you're not in motorcycle gear, but when you're in motorcycle gear it's pretty muggy. So cruising around just under 30 miles an hour, third gear. The engine's just ticking over nicely. It's really smooth. There's just no vibrations that I can feel. It's not uncomfortable. It's light to manoeuvre about. I think initially if I were to own this bike I would probably want it dropped just 20mm, and that's purely because of the weight of the machine. Like I said, it's about 350 kilograms, and I'd want that security of being able to put my foot flat down in an emergency where I've really got to get my feet down quickly and just support that weight. Second gear drop down, yep, that went down nice and smooth. I was still on the throttle a little bit, so next time I shift down I'm going to want to off throttle, shift down, and that will probably work out a little bit better. But the windscreen, I mean, easy to access the windscreen, adjustability, put it back up a little bit, and even at that height there I've got no wind in my face. I've got my visor open. You can probably hear actually. Let's drop the windscreen right the way down. Now I can feel the wind going into my face a lot more, and you can probably hear that on the microphone. I raise that up, and there is no wind in my face at all. Visor's open, completely come off the throttle to downshift on the quick shifter, and it is still really smooth. I can honestly say BMW have hit the nail on the head with this K1600. Speaking to the one of the chaps at Barnstormer, when I said is there much difference between the old K16 and the new K16, he pretty much just laughed, and it was like did I really need to ask that question? Oh, slow manoeuvring again on that rear brake. I think it's got self-cancelling indicators, but this is a good test of what the bike can actually do in a real-world environment. Slow manoeuvrability. I am going to drop the windscreen down because I don't really like looking through the windscreen on a long motorway journey, that's not a problem at all. But when you're just faffing around town like this, good old Farnham, I'd prefer looking over the windscreen. So shifting up on the, you don't even feel the gear guide. That's almost like an automatic. I've never actually ridden around Farnham, so this is a good place to take the K1600 in an area I do not know. It's always nice riding around areas you know, but when you've got a place that you don't know, there's a nice car spot there. I think it makes for a nice test ride because you've got to think more about the road and also just what you're doing. Think about the road, think about the positioning of the bike like this. Got a nice sweeping right hand bend. I've no idea what's coming around it, so I'll move over to the near side. Farnham Castle. Let's put that windscreen back up just so there's a little less wind in your microphone. So I've been on this bike, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, probably longer actually. And wow, honestly the comfort is just beyond belief. I can't believe how smooth the engine is, no vibrations, how comfortable the seat is. I'm not getting a numb bum. It sings lovely when you start opening up, and it's got a nice little twist. Oh, this is lovely. Look at that. That goes round really well. This is a brilliantly handling motorcycle. Now, if I'm reviewing it compared to the old K1600, I really did like that one. This ticks more boxes for rider enjoyment, I would say. Just because of its smooth style and smooth transition through the power. So far we've managed to do a good ride on a nice long dual carriageway, a nice ride in the town, and a nice ride on a little bit of twisty, be it at slow speed. I've not once felt, oh, I'm not too sure about this bike. Downshifting, quick shifter down, wow, didn't even feel it. And for 160 horsepower, that was a little bit jolty, but for 160 horsepower, this is actually really, how would I put it? I'd say scarily smooth, because the power's not scary, but what it is scary is how quickly the bike gets up to speed and it doesn't feel like you're doing it. So would this K1600 be a licensed loser? Without a doubt. You're going to accelerate up to whatever speed you need to be at and not realise you're probably going a lot faster when you've got different display settings on. Now this is on road mode, so I'm going to change. Let's go dynamic. Off throttle, on throttle. What we got? We got dynamic rain road. Off throttle selects it, because obviously if you're on the throttle, it won't change the positioning of the map for you. Right, we're going to go left here. I am using the clutch for some bizarre reason. Back into first gear. So this is in dynamic mode now. So this will be a hell of a lot faster. And unfortunately, there's some traffic there. So I'm just going to cruise on up to him. Let's just see. Oh yeah, you can feel the change in dynamic and road. Now, a big negative I would say about the K1600, it is such a big boat that filtering is definitely going to be interesting. Gonna move over. Traffic lights are just up here. Oh, lovely. So we're in National. Wow, the difference in this bike, it's just like riding a different motorcycle. Here we go, look. Wow, the engine, the induction noise, it just roars in dynamic mode. It really is. Oh yeah. The more I'm riding this, the more I'm thinking, actually, do I look at getting a K1600 as my next motorcycle? I would take a lot of stick from a lot of people if I did, but let's face it, this is beautiful. Okay, the suspension is stiffened up, I can feel that. That might just be me thinking it has, but the bumps earlier in dynamic mode, sorry, road mode, didn't seem that stiff. Yeah, that is definitely a lot stiffer. So let's go into rain mode. Right, we're in rain mode now. Okay, so it's a lot smoother on the throttle application. It doesn't respond as quickly. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to slow down a bit for the rain, and the bike is definitely going to allow you to do so. Put it back in. What we got? Rain, road, dynamic. Let's just leave it in dynamic mode for a moment. Oh, that is just so much smoother. So when you change up with a quick shifter on the BMWs, you have to be on the throttle. If you're off throttle, you cannot shift up. But if you're downshift, you can be off throttle and you can be on throttle. It works both ways, but not up. Just one thing to bear in mind there. Now, the thing I do struggle with on the quick shifters, I keep pulling the clutch in. I don't need the clutch. It's got a quick shifter. Cool. Okay. Just like that. I was talking about it and did it. So you do feel the bumps quite a bit actually in this. Initially I didn't, but now I am. But again, when you're riding it, it is just so smooth. It really is something else, this bike. So we're in second gear, going back into a 50. Yeah, I can feel those bumps, but that's a compromise. Just get the suspension adjusted for you. Wow, those numbers just keep rising and rising and rising. This bike, if you're in the market for a K1600, go out, test ride the brand new K1600, try if you can to afford it. I think it starts about £20,000. It is not a cheap bike, but you will not be disappointed in the slightest by what you jump on and ride. It is unbelievable. It's great. I absolutely love it. Keyless ignition. Okay, that may or may not be a selling point for most. I'd prefer to have a key, but you know what I mean, you've got to take what you're given these days. A lot of companies are going keyless. This bike is unbelievable for just touring, just cruising, just getting up to speed and just going wherever you want. I mean, I'm having no issue with comfort, no issue with vibrations, no issue with the wind resistance. It is a smashing old bike. Now the only thing, and I'm going to say this is the only thing that would put me off of riding this motorcycle, sorry, buying this motorcycle, is the fact it costs so much bloody money. I could not part with the 20,000+ pounds that BMW are asking for. Yes, if you do, you are going to get a lot of bike for your money. But for the average person, £20,000 plus on a motorcycle is not going to be something you can afford. If money was no option, and it was a choice out of this or the BMW R1250 RT, it would be this all day long. This is just a bigger, better, badass motorcycle. It is ridiculous. Right, let's go into, I'm using the clutch again, but then again, if you use the clutch, you can control how it shifts down. And like I said, even though it is a smooth transition down on the quick shifter, it's still better to use the clutch, I think, when you want that little bit more control. I mean, but oh, that just tips in. Wow, it's so scary how something so heavy can be so agile. There must have been a lot of development into this motorcycle from BMW, and it is paid off. My gosh, has it paid off. Now, is that the road that I want to take? No. Okay, so there's a road down here which takes, here we go, this is the road. Takes you to the sailing club, or the rowing club I think it is. Onto the Basingstoke Canal. Yeah, here we go, Basingstoke Canal. On the rear brake, a little bit of revs, going around a corner. Such a controllable motorcycle. quick shifter up. Oh, I want a K1600. I've test ridden a lot of motorcycles in the last couple of years, and I keep gravitating towards the big old touring motorcycles. I've had the sports bike, I've had the adventure bike, I've had the sports tourer, but for a bike that you can jump on, go out for a nice ride, and then go for a good old holiday on, the K1600, the R1200 and 1250 RT are definitely the bikes that you're going to want to get out there. Well, personally me, get out there and test ride to look at buying, because I love this bike. It is heavy when you're manoeuvring it about, but that said, it's not that bad, because if you're quite a tall person, I feel you're going to be quite scrunched up on this bike. So I reckon this bike would be ideal in the standard position that it's in for someone who's about 6 foot tall. I reckon you get on with it quite well. Now I want to try, if I can, taking the bike down to the canal. Right, what's its off-road capability like? This is a bad idea. This is a bloody expensive motorcycle and I'm taking it off-road. So, more revs, more revs. That's where I went wrong last time. More revs, more revs. There we go. So you take it onto a gravel car park. That's just like any old bike though, isn't it? Every bike can go off-road, can go gravelling. Alright, let's park it up. Give you a quick walk around.